Hey there. All right, so let's talk example meal plans. So I put together some examples for you, but I want to talk about it so you don't just blindly follow them without knowing why I put them together or how I put them together, right? So, two tools in this video that you're going to want to pay attention to. So we have this example meal plan. There's a blank one too, so you can write down what you want to have this next week. And then this core food plan. So this is just a list of foods. It categorizes things. So if you're not comfortable or confident of like what's a protein source, what's a good protein source, what's a good non-starchy vegetable source, this is your best friend. So print out this list, have it on the fridge. It's just 2 pages, 1 page front and back, easy there. But just list out all the foods. So especially if you get tired of like just chicken and vegetables and rice, like let's mix it up. Let's find different proteins. Let's use a different starch or use a different vegetable. So let's go through these real quick just to cover them. So up here in the top corner is a good visual of what your plate could look like. So about half your plate in colorful vegetables, non-starchy ones would be great. If I scroll down here, I can find a whole list of these non-starchy vegetables. That's about half my plate, what I want that to look like, okay? And then we have our protein sources. Our protein sources are listed here. We have plant protein sources. We have animal protein sources. The foods that are in red, if we look down here, are simply problematic foods for some people. That's it. You might not have a problem with them, but those are just highlighted in red in case someone is needing to pay attention to those potentially problematic foods. So otherwise, don't worry about them too much. You want a variety of vegetables, so make sure to have not just all broccoli, not just all cauliflower, like add some variety, add some color in there. You want some fats, gives it good flavor. So I'm going to scroll down here. Legumes have a little bit of protein and carbohydrates, so those kind of fill 2 categories if you want. Dairy, protein source, also has some carbohydrates naturally with it. Nuts and seeds, a little bit of protein, and then mostly fat. So fat for flavor, these would be great to add, and they have all their portion sizes roughly here. 6 almonds, 2 Brazil nuts, those are traditional serving sizes of those things. Starchy or carbohydrates, got some squashes here, some yams, potatoes, things like that. I don't worry about acorn squash being too starchy or butternut squash really, so go wild on those. I'm not really worried about those being high carb by any means, right? And we got some fats and oils here and portion sizes there. Those are good portions. Fruits as well, whole grains, and some gluten containing grains. So if you need to avoid gluten, avoid the ones in red down here. Okay, so this is a good list of foods. Make sure we pay attention to that, but let's look at our meal plan. Oops, wrong thing. Let's look at this. All right, so this is example 1. So I gave you 3 days, but I want to talk about the structure of it. So when you were thinking about building your meals and trying to build balanced, healthy meals, I want you to think, where's my protein source coming from? If you don't know, see the list, right? So pick it off a list there. For this first meal, Greek yogurt is going to be my protein source, and about 8 ounces. Seems like a lot of yogurt, but that's a good source. Grams wise, usually my personal portion is about 200 to 300 grams of yogurt, and I'm a 5'5", average height, 135-pound female, so that gives you some reference there. And then ground flax seeds, about 1 ounce of nuts, and some mixed berries. Berries, about a cup, three-quarters of a cup, or a full cup of these types of berries is going to be fantastic. If this is too much food, stop eating. Stop eating early. You don't have to fill yourself. Always pay attention to those signals your body's trying to tell you, hey, I'm full, stop eating. Lunch, 90 to 140 grams of grilled chicken. It's a good portion. More if you are a taller male. And then lots of greens, lots of other vegetables, cucumbers, tomatoes, other vibrant colors that we can throw on that salad would be fantastic. And hopefully that amount adds to about 100 to probably 200 plus. Salads are really easy to make high vegetables, so don't feel too worried about adding a bunch of variety on that. Hard-boiled egg would be great if you want that to contribute towards those 3 to 5 ounces of protein, or in grams here. And then 16 to 32 grams of olive oil is a great portion size too. Gives you a ballpark, right? And then baked salmon, so 4 to 6 ounces of baked salmon would be a good place to start. And then some steamed asparagus, side of quinoa would also give us some starchy carbohydrate here. For starchy carbohydrates, I would probably say anywhere from like 80 to 100, 150 grams of weight there for a serving. That one's harder to give general ones because it really depends on your activity level, how balanced your blood sugar already is, things like that. So that one's a little bit harder to give a recommendation for, general terms. But definitely always start with protein and plants on your plate as far as those vegetables, and then see what else you have room for. Some snacks, and I put up here as needed because it truly is as needed. If our meals are doing a really good job, we might not need snacks. Quite often, these are really filling for people. So if we're not eating all of them because we're already full, then they can serve as snacks. So if I get, 3/4 of the way through my lunch and I'm just not hungry anymore, stop eating, put it back in the Tupperware, save it for a snack for later. It works really, really well, and we're not prepping extra snacks or finding extra things. Scrambled eggs, 2 to 3 eggs is a good serving for myself. So if you're bigger than me, more is probably fine. And then 2 ounces of another protein. This could be lunch meat. This could be ground turkey, leftover protein, leftover steak from maybe the night before, and then a good serving of those vegetables, 100 to 200 grams of vegetables, and then some fat for flavor. Same type of thing here. So hopefully you start to see that structure. Make sure we hit those 2 requirements. Where's my protein? Where's my vegetables? Then add a little bit of starch if needed, especially around exercise times. If you're sensitive to sugar or need to watch your blood sugar, whether it's prediabetes or type 2 diabetes, anything like that, then maybe keep those starchier carbohydrates like some types of fruit, rice, potatoes, those types of things, keep them around the middle of the day or the active part of your day. So if you work out in the middle of the day, let's put them around that, either before or after. I wouldn't put them at nighttime if possible. So try to keep it pretty protein and vegetables at nighttime. All right. Hopefully that gives you a lot of ideas of how to get started, how to build balanced meals. But if you find this difficult, by all means, please reach out. I would love to hear from you, and keep this list handy. Otherwise, we're just filling the gaps. I need a protein, I need a vegetable, I need some starch in here a couple times a day. I need some fat for flavor. For flavor, salad dressings work really, really well. So don't overcomplicate it like you need fancy recipes. Try to think in those simple terms and just plug something in there. If you want more help with it, by all means, please reach out. But hopefully this gives you guys a great foundation. You got your habit tracker, you got your example meals, you got a food list. Hopefully you are set. If you need anything else from me, please reach out, and I hope to chat with you soon.